Hey, this is hrjr Jr. and welcome to the ICE Talks, where we implement change every day. Hey, how you doing? This is Harold Reed, your motivational coach, and welcome to another episode of the ICE Talks, where we implement change every day. And again, if you don't know what motivation means, motive plus action equals results, and results equals success. Now, normally, like I said, I want to do this every day, but I took the past couple of days off. Quite frankly, I had to relax. Saturday was a long day, taught my classes, and then had cycle training, which was in preparation for my black belt test, which is next month. And wow, it was a hard test. It was short. It was packed. It was power packed. So we learned our limitations. And now, here's the thing about limitations. It's kind of what I want to talk to you about. Limitations exist for one or two reasons. It depends on where your head is at. Limitations can exist to tell you where to stop, or limitations can exist to tell you where you need to kick in the overdrive to take yourself to another level or to the next level, whatever that may be, right? And it's something that my master instructor said, that I've always known and I've always said myself, and I'll share that with you right now. There are a couple of reasons why people do not succeed. One, and the common belief, is that people don't succeed because they don't try, and they don't try because they're afraid that they're going to fail. And since they're afraid that they're going to fail, they don't bother putting forth the effort. And here's the thing. For some people, that may very well be true. However, here's another truth. The second reason why people don't succeed is because people don't put forth the effort or try or what have you. And I could talk about trying. My concept of try is a whole different issue. But people don't put forth the effort, not because they're afraid of failing, but because they are afraid of succeeding. You see, once you succeed, once you've surpassed something, once you've taken something to the next level, to the highest level, or to a higher level than where you currently are, you have to maintain the level of work that it took you to get there in order to stay there. You can't just, shoot for the top, hit the top, and then go back to what you were doing before you started working to get to that next level. All right. That makes your visit at the top just that, a visit. All right. I don't want to be a guest at the top. I want to be a resident at the top. That's pretty much how I see it. So again, what tends to happen is people will put forth just enough work to pass the test or get that promotion, but then fall back into their old ways because they don't fully grasp the idea that getting past your limitations means you have to change who you are and how you operate. You have to operate at a new level. You have to operate at a new frequency. God, that's going to be another different podcast, operating at a changed frequency. All right. So what I learned through my experience this past Saturday, I have to be honest, I was kind of down in the dumps, for a variety of reasons that I won't get into. Let's just say that there were numbers that I was expected to hit that I didn't hit in these different activities and exercises. But then again, at the same time, I can't be but so upset because I gave it my all. I went as far as I could go in this body. So like the old saying goes, the mind is willing, but the flesh is weak. Or the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So I pushed it to however far I could push it. And then, we have to learn how to push it farther. That's the thing. When we come across our limitations, you should not look at your limitations as something that tells you where to stop. Let's just put that out there on the table right now. If you look at your limitations as the benchmark of where you need to stop, then by all means consider yourself a failure in weight. I said it, a failure in weight. Because what happens is when you stop, that's it. Lay down, close your eyes, stop breathing, you're dead. I like to tell people that I have to be like a shark. They say a shark always stays moving. If a shark stops moving, it's dead. It dies. A shark has to stay moving. I have to stay mobile. I have to stay doing something. I have to have ideas going on in my head. I have to be writing something. I have to be reading something. I have different ideas in my head. I have things I want to do. I have goals I want to reach. If I believed in limitations, if I believed that there was power in limitations, at least power that could hold me back, power that could hold me down, I wouldn't get anything accomplished. I wouldn't get anything done. I wouldn't achieve my goals. I wouldn't achieve my dreams. I wouldn't set the example that I set for the young people who watch me and follow me. I had a parent at the dojo tell me, and she tells me often too, how much her son looks up to me, how much her son respects me, because of the example that I lead when I'm in that dojo, because the boy doesn't see me anywhere else. And here's the beautiful thing. This particular kid has his dad in his life. So it's not a situation where I'm just being a father figure filling a gap for a child who doesn't have that man who's supposed to be there. His dad is there. So it's like I'm a supportive uncle. I'm a teacher. I'm a guide. I'm a mentor, right? But I'm not doing that man's job. Anyway, I was just a proud moment. But the most important thing is that I cannot allow my limitations to hinder me, because there are people, maybe you who's listening to this, who follow me. And because I set this example, because I lead by this example, listen, let me tell you something. Life gets as hard for me as it does for you. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further and say life gets just a frog's hair harder for me than it may for you. The reason being is because I put myself out there to be the example. I put myself out there to set the example. And there's a truck out there setting the example of how to disturb a podcast. But anyway, one monkey don't stop no show. So I set the example to look past limitations. Now understand this. Limitations, obstacles, hitches in the giddy up, whatever you want to call it, they're going to exist. I welcome them, as a matter of fact. I welcome the limitations. I welcome the obstacles. I welcome the haters. I welcome all of it. You know why? Because these are the things that make me stronger. You should welcome opposition into your life. You should welcome obstacles into your life. You should welcome challenges into your life. You should welcome hard times into your life. You should welcome cloudy days and rainstorms into your life. You should appreciate the times that you spend in the valley. See, I say that life is a trip between, oftentimes, sometimes you're at the peak, sometimes you're in the valley. When you're on top, when you're triumphant, when everything is going the way you want it to, you're living at the peak. All right? But the peak is a small place. You can't stay there for but so long. All right? So every so often we find ourselves down in the valley. So the reason why I say you have to appreciate and welcome and anticipate and take in and embrace all this negativity. Notice, I said embrace, I said take in, but understand this, temporarily. You want to get something out of it. All right. It's the same way our body takes in nourishment. All right. If there's some significant health value to the foods that we put in our bodies will take what it needs. It will take that nutritional material and allocate it to where it needs to go in our bodies. Right. And then our bodies discard the waste. That is how you have to look at limitations in your life. These limitations, these obstacles, these hardships, these tragedies, these rough times, these foul people, these dirty people, these people who just talk about you because they ain't got nothing else going on in their life. All of these things exist for a reason. All of these things exist for a purpose. Now, you can decide if that purpose is to hold you back, to hold you down, or you can decide if the purpose for all of these things is for you to take in and become stronger and to grind and to get harder and become sharper and to become smarter. And once you gain the knowledge, once you gain the wisdom, once you gain the experience from what these situations and these encounters and these relationships, once you suck out the juice of knowledge and wisdom and experience from these situations and these people, then you discard them the same way your body discards its waste. So don't concern yourself with limitations. Acknowledge that they exist. See them for what they are, and then look past them. Look beyond them. Okay, so I can only do 30 push-ups in a clip today. I may be able to only do 30 push-ups in a clip tomorrow. If you tell me I have to do 50 push-ups by the day after tomorrow, guess what? I'm going to give you what I have, and if what I have isn't good enough, then oh well. Right? If you tell me I have to come up with a certain amount of money to get this bauble, this item, this thing. Well, here's the thing. I'll put in the work to get that money. Now, if you put a time limit on me and my resources aren't that vast and my efforts aren't, to the extent where I can generate that income, guess what? Like my man George Clinton said in the song Chocolate City, to each his reach, and if I don't cop, it ain't mine to have. See, you have to see a limitation for what it is. All right. It's motivation to get past it. All right. If somebody's standing in your way, you can either let them stand there or you can go around them. You can get past them. All right. Come on. We've all been in a race. Even when we were kids in school, in the playground, day camp, summertime, whatever, we've all been in a race. If you run track, well, there you go. Right. You unless you're the fastest kid on the block, when the clap goes for everybody to start running, guess what? Somebody might be ahead of you. There, what stands between you and the finish line. So what do? You run around them. You run past them. You get through them. For those of us who've been in the military, guess what? We have to go through an obstacle course. Some branches have to go through that like every week. Some branches have to go through that every day. Some branches only had to do it once a day. Don't hate because the Air Force spends more time in the classroom than they do out in the woods getting dirty. But my point is, there's always some kind of obstacle. Those obstacles don't exist for us to stop right then and there. They exist for us to overcome them. They exist for us to get stronger. They exist for us to get beyond them and be able to look back and say, this I have conquered. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up right here before I really get going and I don't have that much time. Follow me on Twitter at the Ice Talks. All right. You can also follow me here on Spreaker. Also follow me on SoundCloud. And I believe I'm about to jump into another platform, Anchor. All right. And yes, soon enough, we will be going to iTunes and we will be going to iHeartRadio. So the Ice Talks is going to be here for you. It's going to be here for you, man. Listen, I'm here for you. Also, check out my website, www.hrjr-motivaction.com. That's motivaction.com. This has been the Ice Talks, where we implement change every day. Take care. Goodbye.